Before we jump into this episode, I want to take a moment to tell you about the upcoming Texas Woodworking Festival, a 2-day celebration where makers and enthusiasts come together to share their passion for the craft. Join us for a weekend filled with creativity, community, and inspiration. You'll meet tool manufacturers, furniture makers, woodworking clubs, content creators, and more, all in one place with great food and drinks, and of course, all things woodworking. It all takes place in Austin, Texas on September 26th and 27th. The festival features an education track on both Saturday and Sunday, where you'll have a chance to learn from masters of the craft. Plus, there's also a special pre-conference content creator track on Friday, September 25th. Head to TexasWoodworkingFestival.com for more details and to grab your tickets. Use code MWAP10 to get 10% off your tickets. I'll drop a link in the show notes. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, there's something for everyone at the Texas Woodworking Festival. Don't miss it. Welcome to the MWA podcast. I'm Kyle and I'm joined by my co-hosts Sean, Brian, and Jeff. Today, we're excited to welcome Andrew Parker as our guest. Andrew is a talented woodworker who is just finishing up the woodworking program at the Sam Beauford Woodworking Institute. He's a former software engineer who normally works out of his shop in North Lancashire, England. Hopefully I pronounced that right, Lancashire?
Lancashire.
Yeah, they
Okay.
squeeze every bit of fat out of those words. Just slam
There's
it all
no
together.
U in there. There's no U. At least your name, Andrew Parker.
Yeah.
So it's
right direction.
Is there actual town in North Lancashire, or is it
Lancaster.
Lancaster?
So the town that the Shire is named for.
Oh, okay.
Lancaster is Lancashire. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I looked at it. And
It
it's
was
not
Lancaster and
Lancashire.
Pennsylvania.
There's no U in there. Okay. Anyway, well, welcome to the show. But before we get started, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Sutherland Wells knows that exceptional craftsmanship deserves an exceptional finish. That's why they handcraft their full line of low and VOC exempt finishes and stains using the highest quality, cold-pressed, sustainably grown tung oil. Their unique polymerization process delivers the deep penetrating, grain-enhancing, non-yellowing protection of tung oil, while reducing the drying time, allowing the finish to build a beautiful, durable film. Sutherland Wells, the timeless look of traditional oil made for the modern woodworker, and use code MWA25, that's the numbers 25, for 10% off your first order.
And we'd like to thank Sutherland Wells for their sponsorship of this episode. And with that, let's give our patrons a shout out. So who do we have to thank this week?
Yep. You know, we like to give our patrons a big shout out when they're supporting us. Today, we're going to give that particular shout out to the Tutu Artist Studio podcast. Who could that be?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Brian knows something about that lady,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Hey,
go ahead.
yeah, Brian likes to, support the show as well as being a co-host, but this one's tax deductible, right?
I'm trying to get myself on that show because I want to complain about something, and she hasn't invited me because
We haven't had her on yet, so
I don't know if I want you to have her on.
anyway,
Does a
if
tool
you-
really cost this only $20?
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
well, so does her serger, so
That's
it's okay.
true.
So, but if you want to join Brian's wife, who runs her own podcast, to help support our show, you can also do that by going to patreon.com/MWA podcast.
Fantastic. And thanks so much, Brian.
Sure.
Anyway, and it is tax deductible, right? I did get that right.
Sure.
Sure.
The few bucks a month is really going to make a dent in your
$6
Exactly.
whatever it comes out to.
Exactly. Well, with that, let's move on to what's in the shop. So, Sean, what's going on?
I'm older as of
Okay.
yesterday, so that happens.
That's
Happy
right.
birthday.
Happy
Happy
birthday. Happy
Big whoop.
birthday.
Thanks. I took a day off, went golfing, played poorly, and then it started raining. So it's a great day. And today, to top that off, my youngest, who's 19, he's not terribly young, had all four, three of which were impacted, wisdom teeth taken out.
Ooh.
And so midday today, before I actually went into the office, he was bawling and drooling, and yeah, it's been a tumultuous little time.
Yeah, he's a little old for that, right? 'Cause-
I don't know, I still have mine.
Oh, really?
I do too, yeah.
I got
Yeah.
mine. I got mine out at 19, I think.
Does he?
Really?
Okay, so yeah, right there. I mean, he's telling stories about buddies.
I got
that have
mine
done
out
it.
like when I was like 12 or 13, something like that.
I think it all depends on
Yeah, maybe.
what's happening.
Well, they were giving me braces, so it's like, okay, let's get the wisdom teeth out and 4 other ones. But yeah, it was not a fun. I couldn't imagine being 19 and going through that. That's got to be rough.
I mean, once the Tylenol 600 hit, you got Tylenol and Motrin mix.
Yeah.
Like apparently, I was at the office. My wife said like 45 minutes later, like everything kind of calmed down.
Yeah,
the clotting started, because he was just bleeding. He was bleeding for like 3 hours. It was rough. But he's in much better spirits, so we're hoping this turns very quickly. But yeah, that's not a whole lot else going on. I'm very busy at work, and I got more travel coming up. It's just busy times.
Well, we give them our best, so quick recovery there.
I will let them know. Brian, how about you, man? What are you up to?
Been busy with the sports things lately, but I think I finalized the concept and kind of rough plan for this little mower house. let me give the background for anybody who hasn't heard the last episode I was on. So I bought a robotic mower.
What's the brand? Did you mention that?
It's a Mova. It's a Mova light axe. So it's LiDAR based navigation.
Yeah. My buddy just got one. That's pretty sweet. It's also light X.
Yeah. So that's not ridiculous enough, right? So I decided I wanted to have, it's a little house, and they call them garages, which, you could just be like some people use dog houses, some sort of shelf just to keep the rain off of it. So, you fell down the YouTube rabbit hole, and I'm looking at it, basically stumbled on a bunch of engineers. They're like, making like little mini garage doors. So I decided, our house is kind of, for lack of a better term, like a French cottagey style. It's got the landscape. It's got a lot of natural flowers in it. It's not like pavers, so to speak. So I'm like, why not just make this completely ridiculous? And I'm going to build a hobbit house. So I'm going to kind of bury it into the landscaping a little bit. So I think I'm going to do a curved roof with I'm going to make little cedar shake shingles. I'm probably going to bend, I think, some white oak. Put some tar paper on it, then shingle on top of it. The back end will be buried into the slight hill that's there. And then, if you think of a hobbit house, it's like a round door, right? That's because the bottom curves in, that would probably catch the mower. So if you took that round top and just kind of ferret it down out, so it's widest at the bottom, that'll have hinges there. So it'll be like a carriage door. So it'll open up into 2 pieces. I struggled because I wanted to have it close when the mower left, but I can't find a way to do that without some sort of like occupancy sensor. So I'm more concerned about it at night, like this, because we have some squirrels that are big jerks around here. So, they last I know is they would really get in there. So I think I'm going to use a micro switch that is depressed while the mower is in there. When the mower backs up a little bit, it'll trigger the 2 linear actuators that are one is attached to each door that'll open the doors.
Right.
Mower goes out, does its thing. When it comes back to charge, it'll bump up against that micro switch again and then close the doors behind it.
Oh, so it stays open when it's out. It doesn't.
Yeah. Much to my better judgment, I can't. I gotta keep, because this is bugging me. It's totally unnecessary. I 100% agree with that. But so this is what I want to do. And I told my neighbor, who's a huge gamer and Lord of the Rings person, he was over the moon because it's going to face his house. So,
well, now you got to make it accurate, or he's going to critique it.
So and then the big question is, what do you name the robot? I was going to name it Melvin the mower, but I think maybe Frodo. One of those things. So
could you attach like an RFID?
Some people have done that. I was trying to avoid having to program it, although in the days of like Claude and OpenAI,
it helps a lot.
I could probably pull it off. I've never used like an Arduino or anything like that. I would be open to learning that sort of thing, because the way it is now, it would just be the micro switch,
just purely electronic.
I forget what the second piece is called. That it would go to the 12-volt DC supply, and
RFID might be better in some respects because you don't have to worry about the micro switches and stuff like that. If one of them fails or something like that, your mower's either stuck inside or stuck outside,
and you don't end up with squirrels squatting.
Out.
And my only concern is, and the mower's here, and it's actually much bigger than I thought it would be. And that dang thing is heavy. How far does it back up before it pivots? Because this one goes nose into the charger. Some of them go, butt in. So I got to kind of set up the base, the charging base out there. Put, just grab some scrap plywood, make a little house out of it. See where my tolerances are, because it says it wants a meter on each side. I'm like, that's a lot of room.
Yeah,
that's a lot of room around it.
So
Yeah,
I'm thinking 8 inches, maybe 10.
Unless
12?
it's much longer than it is wide, right?
Yeah.
Is it a half meter? Is it a meter long?
No,
okay,
it's
not that big.
2 feet
Okay.
probably.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I would just get some rigid insulation and glue it together, and that way you could easily modify it.
Yeah.
Or use some plywood or something.
Yeah, just use something like simple to mock it up before you really make it true.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's my interesting thing. Like I don't know if I'm probably gonna get a big granite or concrete like patio paver to put underneath it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pour a little slab or anything. That's ridiculous.
No.
It only weighs like 40 some odd pounds.
Does it charge? Does it charge by like the plate it sits on?
No, it's not induction charging. It's actually got contacts in the front.
Oh, so okay, so it's something like my robot vacuum has that, so it just kind of runs into this charger. And
I think that's where they're headed, but they're not there yet.
Okay. I was just saying, because that might dictate what you got. If it has to walk off its surface before it knows to turn around, like that would be an indication of how far. But now, it may, like if I can think of it like my very round robot vacuum, it goes around, it identifies where it's got to park, it backs up to it within like an inch, does a 180, and then drives it. So it knows exactly where it's at within a very small driving distance to make that connection, which I'm guessing if you're saying it charges the same way, it's going to do something very similar.
Yeah. And the videos that I've seen have done it. I mean, it's supposed to have sub-centimeter accuracy, so we'll see. But I'm excited. I get to bend something. I haven't bent some wood in some time. I am going to make the roof removable so I can just pull the roof up and service what's inside.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm totally excited. Get out some plexiglass, make some windows.
Boy.
There's
gonna be a scale.
Are you gonna have little lights inside?
Yeah.
I thought about that. Like, you got a 12-volt supply right there. Why not?
Yeah.
Right. Put them on like a 60-second timer.
Yeah.
So, but
is your mower going to have a nicer house than you? Is that
probably?
Is here?
Andrew, when I redid my laundry room a couple years ago, and it still is the nicest room in my house, which is ridiculous. So yeah, but enough about mower houses. Kyle, how about you?
Got a couple of things. First off, I may have a new product coming out. It's basically a little device to measure the length of your stretchers when you're making a Windsor chair or something like that, where you're having to do, normally when I do it, I use the bamboo skewer or chopstick method, where you basically put 2 ends of a bamboo skewer. You got 2 of them. You put one in either mortise, then you make a little mark, and then you can take them out and then reassemble them to the mark and then measure how long your mortise. That works fine. But I've always been thinking, is there an easier way to do this? So basically I've come up with 2 basically little cylinders that are a little bit under 5/8 of an inch in diameter. And they're each 2 inches long. So they will go into your mortise, and then you can just take a tape measure and measure between them. And they look something like this.
It's like a tiny magic wand.
Yeah, but to say,
yeah. Now the one thing it has to keep it in the mortise is I put 2 little bullet catches. Now,
okay.
I've always been kind of leery of bullet catches because I have some dogs that have bullet catches in them, and it's like horrendous to get them back in, pushing the little catch in to get it to. But I found these little tiny ones that are just big enough to do exactly what I want, and they only require 1 Newton of force to collapse them. So you can put them in your mortise, and they're not going to ding the side of your mortise, the edge of your mortise. So it's not going to put a little ding in it. So that's nice. And then I put magnets on the end of it, so that if you're using a tape measure, the tape measure can secure itself to the magnet, but these are extremely weak magnets, so it's not going to move this in and out of the mortise when it globs on. And so those were the two things that I had to search far and wide to give me some magnets that were just strong enough, but not too strong, and the bullet catches. So I've gone through some prototypes. I'm going to be sending them out to some chair makers, and hopefully by the time this episode posts, I might have some stuff out on Instagram and YouTube about it. So we'll see, but it should be, I think it should be pretty good. I measured using both techniques and measured exactly the same. And this is a little bit easier to do because one of the things with using the skewer method, when you got two skewers and you got that little mark, is that little mark is the most dangerous thing in your shop if you don't get that thing erased correctly between measurements. It's like what is it? A bevel square that's set up just laying on your bench is the most dangerous tool.
Yep.
So it's kind of like that. But anyway, we'll see what's going on with that. I'm kind of excited. And these should be fairly inexpensive too. These are 3D printed and stuff like that. So I'm thinking they're going to be, if I do end up selling them, like I said, I need to send them out to some folks. I've let a couple of chair makers take a look at them and they say, hey, yeah, that's a great idea. So I need to get them tested. And if everyone agrees it's a great idea, then I'll sell them probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $15 to $20. So
if you want people to try them out, you might talk to Luke. They're doing a few Windsor chair classes this summer.
Yeah.
Try them with people who know how to make a chair and have a few people who don't know how to make a chair and see what they do with it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'll have to reach out to Luke and see if he's interested. But I got a couple of chair maker friends that teach classes. I'm sending them to just for that thing so that they can, this works, and then they can, demo them in their classes and make sure that works too. But it seems pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. I've had this idea for a long time. I finally had the tools to make it. I've done a lot of stuff with pull-out dowels, which are still dowels. And I thought about the same thing. Hey, these would be perfect. Let me get some 5/8 pull-out dowels. Well, being an idiot, they're exactly 5/8 of an inch in diameter, which will not go into your mortise.
Well, go
very easily.
They may not come back out.
And they are threaded on the end. That's when they call pull-out dowels. So you can pull them out. But it wasn't the best thing. But having a 3D printer able to, accurately do something that's just a little bit under 5/8. I'm not sure exactly how much it's under because I mocked this up in millimeters. But anyway, that's the way it is with 3D printing. It's like, I might as well do this in millimeters. So I'm constantly got a tab open on my browser that's millimeters to inches conversion.
I would switch to the metric system tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, I would too. But
I look forward to going back to it.
And then with that, I had my drill press finally give out on me. Nothing major, but the return spring for the quill broke. I was doing a bunch of drilling. All of a sudden I heard this ding. And I'm like, what in the world is it? Oh, now I know what that was. That was the return spring for the quill. And I never really thought about how the quill retracts by a spring. And having to repair it, I go, there's got to be a better way to do this. But apparently there isn't, because that's what they all have.
Right.
But I just there's got to be a better way to do this. But the problem is I have a Steel City drill press, which if maybe some of y'all that have been around for a while remember Steel City. It's like when Delta got bought out, a bunch of their engineers and stuff went off and formed their own company and used a lot of old kind of designs. I think the drill press I'm doing is kind of like a hybrid between a Delta split body drill press and a jet one or whatever. Anyway, needless to say, yes, the exact type of spring that they had in there, yes, I cannot find that anywhere. So it's like, great. So there's a bunch of return springs. They're all the same, but they all have different dimensions and stuff like that. I found one that works. It's working right now, but we'll see how long it lasts. I don't exactly like the sound it makes, but it seems to work. So we'll see how long it lasts. I have another one that I bought just in case that's a little bit more towards the spec as far as the width of the spring, but it's not in spec as far as the thickness of the spring. So if that one breaks, I'll try the other one. But yeah, it's one of those things. I was like, I was telling my wife, don't tell me I'm going to have to spend $2,500 on a new drill press just because of a spring. And yeah,
you got to do what you got to do, right? You can't tell her you cannot have a flaccid drill press.
Exactly.
And pause just like that.
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, and I would like a new drill press. That might be a good opportunity to buy one because, they got all the electronic features now and all that kind of stuff. Mine, I still have to change belts on to change the speed. And yes, I'm that guy that changes the speed on a belt-driven drill press.
I haven't changed mine in years. I can't.
Yeah. But with that, Andrew, what are you working on at school, I guess?
So I'm in the last 3 weeks. So working on my final project. So the last 2 months of the course is final project. And this is, we get to design it and we just get given dimensions and all of that. And you design it and build it. So I am right now, in fact, just before we started recording, I was putting shellac on my door and doing the final sanding and getting ready to glue it together. So I've got, what it is kind of like a farmhouse hutch, a narrower one. 2-piece, so upper section, lower section, 2 doors. There's a drawer that's kind of hung underneath the top of the lower section. So you open the door and then you can pull out kind of a drawer in there. And then all the way at the bottom, there's going to be another drawer. And then it's all ash. So I'm trying to make everything out of ash.
Nice.
And really regretting that in some ways because ash has so many different colors. And like, I need another. I messed up a board or something, so I need another piece. And I can't find anything of the similar color than what I just had. So
yeah, it's rare to begin with, and try to color match it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I'm experimenting on this with bent laminations and steam bending and all sorts of things. So the handle for the door, the door pull, is a bent lamination that kind of like comes out of the style and becomes the pull and then bends back into the style. And then the door, the frame and panel, the panel, rather than being a panel, is a whole bunch of curved staves.
Oh, okay.
That what I'm going for is that it looks like a sheaf of wheat. Ooh. So you take the wheat and they bundle it together and it kind of flares out at the top and the bottom. And so that's what I'm going for, is that it looks like that.
Yeah, I saw, I guess, your mock-up you have on your Instagram that you did. What was it, a quarter scale mock-up?
Yeah.
And it looked pretty interesting. I was like, okay, what's
going on with the doors?
What's going on with the panel and the doors? So that's cool. That is cool. Yeah. That makes sense now.
Yeah. And I just put up a bunch more pictures today of the actual pieces of wood and all of that. So if you take a look at my story, no one will see it after this airs, but
if you had time.
Okay. I'm looking at your stories now. Oh yeah, that is very nice. I like that. Okay. Yeah, that looks very cool. That's going to be really, really cool. So what do you plan on doing with the piece? Are you going to keep it, sell it?
I'll keep it.
Okay.
I'll ship it back to England.
Okay.
And it was entirely designed to hold yoga mats. And so the top cabinet is sized for 2 yoga mats. The bottom cabinet is sized for 2 yoga bolsters, and the bottom drawer is big enough to hold 2 yoga blocks.
Yeah.
So,
all right,
it is an extravagant house for yoga mats.
Yeah, form and function.
Nice. And next, you're going to tell us you need to take up yoga. No.
Yeah, or already have, maybe.
Maybe. Well, before we get more about what you've been doing and stuff like that, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up and how you got into woodworking.
Okay. Yeah. So, as you can probably tell from the accent, I'm not really from England. So I grew up in western Montana in a small town called Hamilton, south of Missoula, and grew up there. Did absolutely nothing with woodworking. Did nothing with my hands. I started programming. I started doing software engineering from about 14 years old.
Anyone in your family do woodworking?
My dad was a little bit. My dad did some, but not really when I was growing up. He was a flooring installer. So I helped him out. And so like cutting tiles and learning how to spread glue and things like that. a little bit about measuring, but I never really paid attention. I was into computers.
Right.
Graduated high school, went to Seattle, went to University of Washington, studied computer science, all that. Completely avoided ever working for Microsoft, ever working for Amazon.
In Washington. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
In Seattle with
no
recruiters
less.
coming by.
Yeah.
So instead, I've mostly worked for really small software companies. And then after a few years of working, I decided, you know what? I want to go somewhere else. So I moved to Germany first. So I did my bachelor's degree. It's in Seattle. I did a master's degree in Germany for software engineering. And none of this is getting me any closer to woodworking.
Well, I do have to ask, so do you speak German?
Yeah, I speak German.
Okay.
In fact, part of the reason of going to Germany was I graduated with more credits from the University of Washington. I graduated with more credits in German than computer science.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I did an exchange to Germany, and I kept taking German and all of that. So yeah, it was strange when I added it up at the end. I was like, huh, that's an interesting way of graduating. And then moved to London. Worked in London for a while. That was, my wife wanted to do some studying and she chose London. So we got there, back and forth to the US, back to London. And then eventually we moved out of London to where I live now, to Lancaster. And there is a makerspace right next to my house.
Oh, wow.
And so I signed up for the makerspace, and then I had some free time kind of between jobs. And I just kind of was like, you know what? I feel like just going and teaching myself. So I just started watching YouTube videos, going to the makerspace, spending hours and hours almost every day in there. They had a track saw, a drill press, and a bandsaw. No planer, no jointer, nothing like that. So basically I just learned hand tools, how to do everything, resawing boards because the bandsaw sometimes didn't even work. I just really liked it. And I did that for a few years and eventually thought, you know what? I think I might make a career change, and talked it over with my wife, started looking at schools, and now I'm here.
Oh, interesting. Well, what made you decide on the Sam Beauford Woodworking Institute as your school?
So I looked around, and there's some places in the UK that I could have gone, but none of them, their curriculums quite struck me as someone who's like changing careers. They some of them look like more of like finishing schools for someone who's like done woodworking for a while and they want to up their game. Like they make some amazing stuff at some of those schools. And I thought, you know what, been in the UK for a little while, let's try another adventure. I'd never lived in the Midwest, so looked around. I looked at NBSS and looked at CFC and looked at Sam Beauford. And eventually it just came down to Sam Beauford. It looked like a really nice place. Everyone seemed very friendly. It didn't seem like just a big school that's trying to just like get you through. It really seemed like a very friendly place. And I thought, let's do this.
Yeah. Well, what exactly is the program you took there? Because I know they have a couple of different ones, I believe.
So there's only, at the moment, there's only really one full program.
Okay.
Yeah. They're starting a new school, starting a new building. They've outgrown this place and they're going to start up two new ones. Timber framing and what is it? Architectural preservation or historic preservation.
Okay. Yeah. That must be work because they kindly send me press releases all the time. Yeah. That's probably why. They got more than one now. No, they are going to have more than one.
About a year, I think.
Okay.
About this time next year, I think those are starting up. So I'm in the, I think they call it the furniture design career program. 40 weeks long, 9 months, and you start from. They don't assume that you know anything. So like the very first day after telling you how this shop works and who they are and all of that is, here's how you read a ruler.
Nice.
So, it starts from absolute basics. And a lot of the people here, a lot of the students, they got a bunch of these tools because you get a tool list before you start. And they're like, you're going to need to have these tools. You don't have to have them all on day one, but these are the tools you're going to need to buy. and like most people could probably identify a chisel and all of that, but when you get to a spoke shave, most of the students probably had no idea what they were getting.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, a hand plane. All right, this is a cool thing. What do you do with it?
Right. Exactly. Well, that is interesting. I mean, I'm glad they start there because how to read a ruler, how to make a mark on a ruler.
Yep.
Or how to make a mark using a ruler, should I say, is, I mean, it took me a couple of years to realize I'm doing it wrong. So that is nice. That is nice that they start. Now, speaking of that, I mean, you'd been woodworking for a number of years at this point. So did you pick up some stuff that you just kind of glossed over when you started woodworking?
Absolutely, because I was self-taught. I was just like watching people on YouTube and going like, I think I could do that, and not necessarily knowing all of the nuance, and then spending hours and trying to figure out like, why is this not working? So like I'd vaguely known the peculiarities of you need to make sure that you're using the lines on the ruler consistently. Like, are you to the left? Are you to the right? What are you doing?
And using the same ruler, or
use the same ruler. Or don't start from the end. Start from the number 1, or on Sunday start from 10. And I'm using that more and more as I realize, I'm not very accurate if I try to mark at the end. So, lots of little things like that, and those kind of come through the year as well. Like the way the whole thing is structured is it's a series of projects. So the whole curriculum is designed around a series of projects that you just walk through, and you build each one. But each one, even if you're going to do the same joint that you've done before, so for instance, dovetails, the very first time we do it, you do it by hand. You learn how to cut dovetails by hand. The next project, the dovetails in that, you're going to use the table saw. So you're going to learn how to use the table saw for cutting the tails, and then you're going to learn how to use like the band saw for maybe clearing some of the waste, and how to use a router for clearing the rest of the waste. And then for the mortise and tenons, we might, for the first one, learn drill and chop for the through tenons, and then on the next project, the mortise and tenon will use the mortising machine because it's not a through tenon. And so each project is kind of designed around, okay, you might be doing the same joint, but we're going to learn another way to do it. And then you might be doing it, and we're going to learn another way to do it. Nice.
So what type of projects have you made so far there in the program? I obviously the last one is, hey, you're going to design it. Do everything. But what did they start you off on and stuff like that? I know like North Bennett Street School is famous for, them building their tool chest and that kind of thing. And
So we start, very first thing actually you build is just like practice joints. The main one being the dovetail. You do just a dovetail corner. But then the first actual project is a dovetailed shaker stool. Three pieces joined with a stretcher, dovetails in the corners, and then you get that basic design, and you can kind of shape it how you want.
Okay.
Finish it how you want. And also one of the nice things here, I've really liked this, is the school gets donations of a lot of stuff like wood and lumber and sheet goods and other things. And so there's an entire container full of lumber that's just free reign for us, where you go in and you're like, I'm going to try this out. You get to experience like, how is it to work in cherry versus hickory? What happens if I grab a piece that has a knot in it, and you discover like, oh, chopping a dovetail into that's pretty difficult. And since you're just learning, there's not that big risk of, oh, I just wasted $50 of material.
Right.
Now I have to go buy it again. So we do the shaker stool. We go on to a hanging wall cabinet, a simple little cabinet with a shiplap back, a single drawer in it, and a little sliding door with a frame and panel is where we get introduced to the frame and panel. Then we move on to a tool chest. So the school has their own tool chest that they do. Gets modified, it seems, every single year. Zach changes it as he like, okay, the students struggled with this, so I'll change that around, and trying to get something working. And that takes you to the end of the first semester. So a big thing is like getting that tool chest. And then we have Christmas break. Then you come back and you do a shaker candle stand, little 3-legged table.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah.
And more complicated than you think.
Yeah. And that's where we learn like sliding dovetails and
Right.
turning. So that was a lot of fun. We have all these green maple blanks that are used for making baseball bats, and that's what we got to practice on.
Oh.
So it's just like turning green maple, lots of fun as the ribbons go flying off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. I tend to turn the kiln dried stuff, and it's not quite as fun.
Dust everywhere.
When we actually do the table, it of course has to be kiln dried because green would do odd things. And then it's build a chair, and then it's the case piece. So so the chair, Luke, of course, Windsor chair maker. I guess historically the school just did Windsor chairs, and then Zach got trained on how to make ladder back chairs by Jeff Lefkowitz.
Okay, yeah.
And so now what they do and what they did with us is they split us into 2 groups. One group does the Windsor chair with Luke, and the other group does the ladder back chair with Zach.
Nice.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
that's nice. So what did you choose?
I chose the ladder back chair.
Okay,
because
nice.
I'd already made a stick chair. I took a Chris Shore's class in London.
Oh, nice. Yes.
So I was like, I got the basics. I know I don't have quite the same style, but I had the basics. Yeah, and all through that, like that's the projects, but all through that, there's business classes going on, so you're learning like how to run a business.
Yeah,
nothing all that intense, but it's like introduce you to the ideas.
Yeah, that's the one thing when we had Luke on, and we also had Zach on, and that's one of the things that really struck me was the business acumen they try to at least instill in you, because you got to learn how that, because when you get into the business side of it, you're going to spend almost as much time on that as you are on the actual building furniture side of things.
Yeah, and they've told us that many times. So that's actually, I think, really great, because it's also like writing an artist's statement, putting together what's a good website look like, how should you try to promote your pieces, accounting, how much do you charge? Like you have to think about the materials used, the overheads, how much time you're putting into it, what your market is, all of that. So we go over all sorts of stuff.
Yeah,
very in depth.
Yeah. And then we also, they pull in people through the year to teach specific things. So we had Mike Bilzowski come in and teach us about bending and a little bit about veneer. So he took us through like bent lamination, steam bending, like bendy ply, veneering, all of that, getting hardwood edging on all of it, like just take us through everything. And it's all fast. I should say, like, this is all intense and fast.
Yeah, because you said it's a 40-week program altogether.
40-week program, and as a student, you're only required to be here 2 days a week. I don't know how anyone would finish this. I added up, because we have to track the hours that we spend in class or in the building. I think I'm around 40 to 50 hours a week right now.
Okay.
Whereas the 2 days is technically, it's only 12 hours. It's 2 6-hour sessions.
Wow. Yeah, I know that what you're doing sounds about the right way.
Yeah.
If I were to estimate it,
realistically,
yes. You're not gonna do it quickly. You're not gonna get through it accurately,
and you're not gonna have the repetition of doing it.
No, exactly.
Really understand, like, what have I heard? Why am I doing this?
If anything, you're affording yourself to like find a way to make a mistake and fix it along the way too.
And I've made many mistakes.
Yeah. Yes. I imagine so. We all do. What is what are the things that really stand out that you?
I think the biggest impression that I've had, the biggest thing that's put an impression on me is one, veneering and the bending. Like all of the possibilities with bent, and you can probably see that in my case piece is like, I've got all sorts of bending. I've got veneer in there as well. I've got veneered panels for my frame and panel. Those were things that I was vaguely aware of, but I hadn't really appreciated what kind of they open up for what you can do. Like as soon as you got veneer, suddenly it's like, oh, well, you can do parquetry and you can do marquetry. You can do grain orientations that are impossible to do with the solid wood. And for someone who's not building it, it's kind of like, yeah, whatever. It's what's the big deal? But now that I'm building it, now that I actually understand how this stuff goes together, and I'm starting to get a better sense of that, I'm like, oh, that is game changing. What you can do with those kinds of techniques.
Exactly. Now, tell us. You mentioned you are working like 40 to 50 hours a week on doing this. So, what is your schedule like, day-to-day schedule and stuff like that? Well, when do they allow you in there? Are you there at 6 a.m. knocking on the door, or what?
So, after the first couple weeks, we're kind of given the keys to the palace.
Okay.
We've been shown how to use the machines and how to be safe on them. They kind of have a sense of who we are.
Yeah.
And at that point, as a student, you're allowed to be here and you're allowed to be using sharp tools. You can sand or you can finish. You can, as long as there's another person. So if there's not another person, you can sand and you can finish, you can assemble. But you have to have another person if you're going to do anything that can cut. Even like they said, even like a marking knife, you should have a person around. I think they just want to make it very strict. Like, no,
they don't want anyone bleeding out from a marking knife.
Sure, of course.
Safety in numbers. Yeah.
It'd be a hell of a story, but okay, I get it.
So personally, what I do is I get here at about 8 a.m. I wake up at about 6. I do some yoga, and then I get here at about 8 a.m. And if it's a day that I have class, so we're split into 2 cohorts. 24 students are split into 2 groups of 12. So I'm in cohort 1, which means I'm here Monday and Wednesday. And so I get in at 8. 10 o'clock, classes start, which on Monday, through most of the year, on Monday is actually an instructional thing. It's like, okay, we're going to talk about, when it's just starting out, we're going to talk about dovetails, and we're going to talk about how they work, and we're going to talk about this, and we're going to do some demos. And then you're going to do some practice, and then we're going to review what that was, and they kind of take us through that. And that goes from 10 until 4. And I should say without a lunch break. They're like taking all the hours they can.
Okay, gotcha. Eat a big breakfast. Can you bring snacks?
You can bring food and you can eat, but the instruction will not stop. They're going to just keep going. They're like, we don't have much time with you. We're going to pack in as much as we possibly can. So 10 to 4. Then at 4, you can end. I generally go home around 7. So I'm usually here about 8 until 7 p.m., maybe 8 p.m. So I'm normally here around 9 to 10 hours, maybe 12. And then on the days when the other cohort is here, so that's Tuesday and Thursday, when their stuff starts at 10, I have to leave. So I get here from 8. I'm here until 10. I leave, go and do whatever, try to do something useful. I did lots of sketching and drawing things and learning about how to do like rotating stuff, just using compass and ruler, doing that kind of drafting things where you're like, I've got one view and now I wanted another view rotated.
Yeah.
Just teaching myself those kinds of things on the days when I wasn't allowed to be in here.
Nice. Yes.
And then at 4 p.m., I can come back in. So that class will still be here. They'll still be doing stuff. But at 4 p.m., the other cohort can come in. So I'll often show up. Now I will show up at that time. Until the case piece, I was like, I'm going to take a bit of time off. And so I would not come in those afternoons. But now I'm like, I need all the time I can get.
Right.
So I'm here right now. So
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Of course. Well, with that, so do you have your own bench and your own workspace and stuff like that?
So there's 24 students, 2 cohorts. There's 12 benches. Okay. So we share a bench with the person in the other cohort. And then when we have our toolbox is under that bench. So I'm on the left side. My benchmate he's on the right side, and it works out pretty well because we've got the bench room and we've got the machine area. And so even if everyone is here, there's a mixture of where you want to be. Do you want to be at the benches where you can do hand tools and quieter, dust-free stuff? Or do you need to be down in the machine area using a router, assembling your piece, using the planers, all of that? And so we kind of get spread out across the whole building.
Okay, gotcha. Now, have you had any struggles along the way? Stuff like that?
I think I've struggled less than other students just because I had so much practice beforehand.
Okay, gotcha.
But I will say, a dirty little secret of my case piece. The door, the frame, it was supposed to be bridle joints. And that went so horribly wrong that
it's now pocket holes. Now.
So
it is now dominoes.
Dominoes.
It comes out after you graduate, right?
Yeah.
Those are design opportunities learned along the way. I mean,
Exactly.
just frame this properly, and you're right down the straight path.
Yeah. So I tried to make those bridle joints 3 times. And I could not get the jig square. The jig fell apart at one point when I was doing the cut. Just everything went wrong.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
So they look like bridle joints.
Hey,
So-
there you go.
Because I still have the same styles.
Yeah.
I just filled the improper mortise with just a block of wood, and then it's dominoed together.
Dominoed. Hey, that makes sense. That's nice. Actually, yeah, that's if you're going to do this as a production piece, that's probably the way you'd want to do it. Yeah.
Right. And let's soften the blow a little bit. You're using loose mortising.
Yes.
Loose mortise.
It's not Kleenex. It's not Domino. It is a loose mortise. And so it's a production tool.
Yep.
Yeah.
That you're utilizing in this design.
And I should say, this isn't the first time I've struggled with bridle joints. I don't know why I have such a hard time with the bridle joints.
It's your writer's block. Someday you will persevere. Someday.
Yes.
But for now, move on. You're doing it well.
Thank you.
Exactly. Well, so you're there for basically a year, correct? 40 weeks. Yeah. I mean, are you having breaks during this 40-week period?
There was a short break during Christmas, and there was Easter break, so spring break.
Okay.
I didn't go anywhere. I just been here.
Well, so tell us a little bit about your accommodations there. Do they help arrange that when you?
They help a little bit. They don't have. Well, I take that back. They do have a couple houses that like Luke and Dina own, and they get the students into. So I know that there's one group or 2 groups that are in rental houses that they have, but most of us are in just apartments in the town. And Adrian has a college. I think it's about a 3,000 student college or so. So they're kind of used to students coming and going.
Mm-hmm. And conveniently, right now, one of the colleges just shut down.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the opportunities are there for dorm use, but
I hadn't thought about that.
Siena Heights shut down.
Yeah.
And so Adrian College is still there, but the private college, Siena Heights, actually closed down this past. Oh, I don't know if they're officially closed, but they are closing.
They just closed.
So this semester was the end, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so there's got to be something there that's opening up.
Oh, that is a good idea. I'll pass that along to Luke.
That's to Luke and them. I don't know the total opportunity. I don't know how much on campus, off campus they had ownership or part ownership of, but there's something there.
Yeah.
Because got to stay up with the times, man. I mean, these things are changing.
Yeah. So I'm just in an apartment just south of town, and just found it online. But they do send out a list of places that they've had students stay in the past, and we can them.
So it's kind of a growing list as time goes on.
Yeah, a growing
That's
list
nice.
of places where they say students have had a good experience. They actually have one place on the list, I can't remember what it is, that they said don't go there.
Well, that's nice. That's good.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The Roach Motel down the street.
Yeah.
Like that's not. So did you do like a month, or did you block it off for the 9 months that you're going to be there, or?
Did a 1-year lease. So my wife came over with me, and she's a social worker. She worked at the hospital, And so she got a job there. Social work's in demand.
Yes.
So she was able to get a job there.
I was just about to ask you. So is your wife still in England and
No,
that kind of thing? Nope. So
she's here, and my cat is here. We couldn't leave our cat behind.
Not for that long, no.
yeah.
So so she got over here a bit before me to make sure that the apartment was set up. We've done the international move enough that we've kind of got this pattern of one person goes first,
Yeah.
gets the new place set up, the other person stays behind, gets the place all sorted for whatever we're going to do with it. For me, that was we've got a tenant staying in our house, so I had to get the place cleaned and our things put away and everything ready for them. She got everything ready for us over here, and then she was here starting in June, actually, so almost a year now.
Wow.
And so we just got a 1-year lease is the way we did it.
Yeah. Now, is your wife from the States or is she from?
Yeah, she's from California. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you didn't have to worry about work visas and all that kind of stuff. And yeah. Nice. So, well, with all that, so what's next for you? I assume you're moving back to England once you're finished up, and
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll move back to England, and then very first thing is start looking for a workshop. I don't have a garage in the house I'm in, so I would only have that makerspace, and I think I've kind of outgrown it. So I need to find something. So that'll probably be either an industrial site where I can rent a place, or my big plan actually first is to go around to farms and see if they have any disused buildings. And then the other one is, and this is actually something I just want to do because being trained here means that I don't have connections and I don't know like what the suppliers are in the UK. Gives me a big disadvantage in knowing what to do or who to buy from or anything like that. So actually one of the first things I want to do is find some furniture makers in the area that I live or even further afield and just see if I can go and join them in their shop and help them out and do whatever they want me to do to help them out in their shops for a few weeks.
Yeah, that's nice.
So if any furniture makers in Northwest or Northern England are listening, contact me. Let me know.
Heck yeah. Help a guy out. That's awesome.
Exactly. Well, that's fantastic. So I assume you're still going to continue with your business. It's called Bespoke Furniture, correct?
A Parker Furniture. I'm setting that up right now.
Okay.
It's technically not a business yet. It's just a website.
Just a website.
All right.
Okay. A Parker Oh yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Why did I say bespoke?
I think because it says bespoke somewhere on there.
Yeah, it pops up in my thing as Bespoke Furniture, but yeah, the actual thing is A Parker Furniture. Okay, good.
Yeah.
You won't make Chris Schwartz mad by saying bespoke then.
I can't say custom there. Custom is not used.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In England? Yeah.
Yeah, they don't say it's custom. It's not custom furniture. It's bespoke furniture. It's not custom software. It's bespoke software.
Oh,
really?
geez. Because it's original.
Okay.
Just one extra line makes you a bespoke coding. Like I thought this go-to message was enough to make it mine, and I'm calling it bespoke.
Yeah,
that is interesting. I never understood that. Okay.
I mean, I think it's the origin.
So
of
the
the
whole
meaning
bespoke thing was an import from England, basically. When they started calling stuff bespoke here in the States, because
I didn't know that they were starting to use it over here.
Oh yeah,
they have for a while. Yeah.
In fact, Chris Schwartz has a couple of blog posts, railing against some of the words they used in custom furniture making, and one of them is bespoke. But now
some of the custom like plane makers like Sauer and Steiner and those guys, those are bespoke tools. Those are 100% custom, handmade.
Yeah,
unique to the mass production kind of style thing. Like,
it does sound much fancier.
It does. It's like you expect 9-month lead times or more, and because this is special, it's not just your own design. Like, there's something a little more to it. But it is. Maybe it's misused now. But yeah, for sure. I mean, it's the same thing with like artisanal. It's just because you didn't measure your ingredients doesn't make it artisanal. but okay.
Yeah, that is interesting. Well, so when you get this business up and going, so what type of projects do you think you're going to be making and stuff like that, or what are some of your favorite things to make?
I really enjoyed making the chairs, I have to say. So
Right.
one of the things I want to do first. So Lancaster used to be the home of a really big furniture maker. There was Gillows of Lancaster in London. They'd been there since like 1720.
Okay.
And they shut down in, I think, 1960s. So they'd gone through several acquisitions and everything. But so Gillows had been a big furniture company in Lancaster. And what I'm really surprised by is that there doesn't seem to be anything left of that industry there.
Mm-hmm.
But at a museum in the town called the Judge's Lodgings, they have a whole collection of Gillows furniture. And they did like high-end furniture. They supplied furniture to like the royal palaces and,
Wow.
and
Nice.
the big estates and all of that. But they have a really interesting chair that I think is a nice connection for me as an American in England, which is that they have a Windsor chair that they started selling sometime in like the 1760s. But they were still selling it in 1776. And the Caribbean islands got cut off from the American colonies when the War of Independence started, and they couldn't get their chairs anymore from the colonies. So Gillows had this grand idea of saying, we can ship our chairs over there and maybe we can take this market from the Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And so this chair, they what they apparently did is they would make all of the parts, they pack them in barrels, they put a can of paint with them, and they'd ship them off to the West Indies, and with some instructions for local carpenters to assemble the chairs. And so what I want to do is actually one of the first things I want to do is try to just make a replica of that chair, maybe update it a little bit from its 1776 looks, and see if anyone's interested in a replica kind of more lower end. These aren't the things that you would find in the manor houses or anything. These are almost everyday chairs. The chairs that have a connection to the city.
Nice.
Good idea.
That's a good idea. That's excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. That is excellent. I like that. Well, so basically you've been woodworking, you learned woodworking in England. You've come here and you've learned it from at SBWI. And so tell us a little bit about some of the differences between woodworking in the U.S. and England, besides the metric imperial system.
Besides that.
Except UK
in England,
woodworking connection to metric and imperial.
I was
messed up.
I was about to say, in England, aren't they using both all the time?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're using miles. You know how long it took me to figure that out? That's not kilometers, that's miles.
Yeah.
Yards.
Yeah, that took me a while to figure out too. I was looking at road signs and I was like, nothing is matching. I was on my bike and I was like, nothing matches my odometer. My bike was set to kilometers. And I'm like, what is going on? Eventually I had to ask someone, and I said, are all these numbers, are these in miles? And the guy said, I don't know. He's like, well, it's just the number on the dial here. And I looked at his dial and I was like, yeah, they're miles.
Yeah. I saw the same thing in golf tech. Like when people are talking about golf technology and swings and speeds and everything, they will talk about miles per hour in speeds, but obviously yards on a golf course. I mean, that's easy to do, but it goes beyond that where they'll say oh, that's a few K, meaning kilometers, but they'll drop it into inches at the same breath. It's the weirdest blend between the two.
Yeah. If someone's driving somewhere, you might get miles or kilometers. If they're running a distance, it is always kilometers.
Yep. That's always
if they're telling you their height, it's going to be in centimeters. If you're telling you their weight, it's probably going to be in stone and pounds.
Stone. Yeah.
So for the woodworking, of course, you've got all of the old tools, which are going to be in inches, but then all of the new tools are in metric. But if you're talking to someone, they're going to be talking to you in some mixture of inches and millimeters.
Mm-hmm.
And I was recently looking this up because I was trying to figure out what does lumber cost there, called timber. I'd have to get that right.
Okay. Yep.
Timber, not lumber. And I was like, how do they price it? What are the general prices? First thing I found was I can't find anyone publishing their price lists online, so that's been very hard to tell the price differences. But I eventually found out they don't do by the board foot; they do by the cubic foot. but they'll give you the dimensions of a plank in millimeters.
Yeah.
I'm like, how am I supposed to convert this?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
their game. That's how they do it. They're shaving it off the top somewhere to make a profit.
You're gonna have to be like me when I'm designing in Fusion. You got to have that millimeters to net conversion chart just sitting there, you know.
Like, hey Alexa.
But the terms like, so you've got the jointer and planer is the planer and thicknesser,
Right.
which
Oh,
to
sure.
me those terms make much more sense.
They do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. One
Mhm.
makes them smooth and one gets them to a dimension.
Yeah. One gives you a plane and one gives you a thickness.
Yes. Yes.
You got, instead of a drill press that you were talking about earlier, it's
Yeah.
a pillar drill.
Pillar drill.
Pillar drill. Okay, that's new to me. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Makes sense.
And then of course it's a rebate rather than a rabbit.
Yep.
It's rather than a dado, I think they called it a housing joint. That's the one I heard from Paul Sellers. Is he talked about rather than it being like a dado and a board going into it, it's called a housing joint.
Interesting.
That's not one I've heard, but I get the term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's like a self-referencing positional joint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what about materials and stuff like that?
So the woods, of course, a lot of imported stuff because UK doesn't have much forest left.
Okay.
But the native woods that you'll get are basically, it's going to be ash, which is it's a different ash. It's sycamore, which is maple.
Okay.
Yeah, so sycamore is not the same as the sycamore here. Sycamore there is really just a maple.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And of course, oak. Some elm. You'll find elm sometimes. And beech. Beech is all over the place.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've worked with beech a few times, and I'm not here, but over there, and it's like, it's a closed grain, really nice to work with.
Yes. I've worked with it a little bit, but yeah, it's super expensive here. Yes, of course, because it's imported and stuff like that, as well as English oak and stuff like that is fairly expensive.
Yeah.
Which I really prefer the English oak to our oaks. I'm not sure how well it bends or stuff like that, but I assume it bends pretty well.
I don't know. I'll find out when I try to bend parts of that chair.
I assume it does. Well, with that, tell us a little bit about your other pursuits outside of woodworking. What do you like to do? We know yoga, but
Yep, yoga. Cycling. So I actually, the whole time I've been here, I bike to work, bike to school every day.
Okay.
Nice.
It's the current location is on a nice
Even in
way.
January?
I was going to say,
yeah.
hold on.
Yep.
The winter
Man.
we had.
I biked
you
through
had-
almost the entire thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You just cover up. You make sure that no skin is exposed.
Yeah. All right.
So I do that, and my cycling, I do a lot of bike touring. So I've done quite a few trips. I try to do at least one a year of like a 2-week long trip on my bike, just bike and tent and all of that. So last one I did was, what was the last one I did? Of course, didn't do one this year. I've been way too busy.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the last one I did was just kind of like a little bit of a circuit around the north of England where I live, down to the Peak District over near Sheffield and back up and around. I did a shorter one through the Forest of Bowland, which is the little kind of nature area near where I live. Just went through there with a friend, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, you said you were going to do a little tour once you got done with school. So where y'all, is that a bike tour or you just?
No, so that's a road tour. So
Okay.
as I said, so I don't own a car in the UK.
Yeah.
I don't even have a license to drive, which I'll probably have to fix because I don't know how else I'm going to go out and get like machinery or timber,
Exactly.
or things like that.
Right.
So I think I will finally need to get a car. But no, here we own a car because I cannot live in Adrian without a car.
Yeah.
And so we're over here. We got some time. Let's go on a road trip. So we're gonna spend about 4 or 5 weeks going and visiting friends and family. So most of our family is over in the West. So it's like a straight shot from here to Kalispell, where my dad is now, and then start kind of wandering down towards Arizona. But I'm going to stop in. Do you guys know Medora, North Dakota?
No.
by the
No.
Badlands.
Yeah,
I mean, it has to be by the
kind
Badlands.
of out there. The
Yeah.
Roosevelt National Park, Theodore Roosevelt National Park. They do the craziest show, like this big country cowboy musical show. They do it every summer, and it's been apparently going for decades.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I learned about this on a bike trip. So I cycled from middle of Montana down to Sioux City, Iowa, and then did Ragbri across Iowa with a friend. That was a 4-week trip. That was a long,
that's big.
Yeah.
But on that, I stopped at this place, just not knowing what it was. It was just my stop for the night. And everyone was asking, "Oh, are you going to go to the show tonight?" What show? What are we talking about? So I just walked into this thing, and as soon as I saw it, I told to my wife, and this was 11 years ago. I told my wife, "We have to go back, and you have to see this." So we finally get to go back, and I get to show it to her.
Yeah, they have something similar like that in Texas. It's near Amarillo in the Palo Duro Canyon. It's a state park and stuff like that. It's a small canyon. It's actually a pretty big canyon, actually. But yeah, they've had a show out there, kind of a Western show for decades. So those are cool. Those are cool.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. Get that Americana before we head back to England.
Exactly. So you're going to buy a car in England. Interesting. Can you get one of those? What you need if you're going to be hauling stuff around is one of those little K trucks,
I've been looking at those. They do import them.
There you go. They're nice and small. They're going to be perfect for the roads there.
Yep.
Yeah, they're narrow.
Yeah. They're all right-hand drive. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah. The advantage of importing used vehicles from Japan.
Well, fantastic. Well, with that, Andrew, where can folks find you on the interwebs?
Well, I'm on Instagram as @Parker_furniture, and on the web for this, I'm on the web as @ParkerFurniture.co.uk. And I'll leave out my software personality as well.
Okay. If you need any custom software, go to Bespoke software.
Yes, bespoke software. Yes.
Bespoke software. With that, let's move on to our fortnightly beer choices. So I'll start us off. I drank one Imperial Tiger's Blood cider.
Okay.
It's interesting. It's from St. Arnold's. I saw this. St. Arnold's is a beer, but they do have some great ciders out there. And the reason I drank one is because all their ciders are a little heavy. This one was 8.2%. But it's interesting. Imperial Tiger's Blood. It says sip a snow cone classic. So anyway, it was not bad. It was appley, but was there a Tiger's Blood snow cone? Anyone remember this?
I was wondering about that when you said that. I was like, what?
That sounds Texas to me. maybe. I mean, there's. There's, I know other pseudonyms for Tiger's Blood and where that came from, but anyway, I never knew the snow cone. Anyway, with that, Brian, what are you drinking?
So it's another Treehouse beer. It's called Gift of Hops. It's a double IPA. I like it. It's very good. And in Andrew's honor here, we had a beer over in south of London, Kent area, called Beavertown Neck Oil. Which is an IPA. I really like that.
Great one. It's a great one.
Yeah, I looked at the waitress. I'm like, what, is this good? Because I got it for the name, but it was a good beer. So yeah. Sean, how about you?
Nothing special for me, man. Just Miller Lite. Andrew, how about you, man?
I'm not drinking beer. I got to go back into the shop, and I can't drink alcohol and then go back into the shop. So I'm staying to the English side, and I've got some decaf PG Tips tea.
Nice. Well, with that, we want to thank you, Andrew, for coming on the show. So, dear listeners, please leave us a comment, Instagram at MWA_podcast, or please leave us a comment on your podcatcher of choice. 5-star reviews are more than recommended, and that helps get the show in front of other folks. And with that, we'll see you next week. And that just about wraps it up for this show. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the show on the podcatcher of your choice. Just search for the Modern Woodworkers Association. And while you're there, please leave us a review. You can follow us on Instagram at MWA_podcast. And if you'd like to support the podcast, go over to patreon.com/MWA podcast. But the best thing you can do is tell a friend. Word of mouth goes a long way in sharing our discussion.